The kid who never stinking played before. It is amazing. It is amazing. And it's not just Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stout is great, and he's the best offensive line coach in the league. Or you put Dante Scarnecchia in there. Um, he does things that no other offensive line coach can do. But you got to give my lot of credit too. I mean that's just pure talent.
Got it's live here on Birds 365. John McMullen and Jody McDonald hanging with you. Mike Sealski scheduled to join us coming up in less than 15 minutes from now. J-Mac, I just wanted to throw a couple players by you to get grades at the three-quarter mark of the season, and you've given me some good insight and debatable grades on a couple of guys. One last offensive guy before we jump over to defense. What's Jalen Reagor's grade this year?
Boy, I don't like to give out F's, Jody. I think he's trying. I'm going to give him a D because look, I mean, the production's not there. The competence isn't there. Even when he does something good, like the 20-yard punt return, he flubs it and then picks it up to go 20 yards. It's not good. It's just not good. I was hoping you'd go Jordan Mailata because I'm giving him an A plus.
A plus.
He's been unbelievable, and especially with expectations. He's been one of the best left tackles in football. He's in the conversation to be the best, which is amazing.
Hold on, expectations. What were your expectations of Mailata before the season started?
I thought he'd be a good starting left tackle.
Starting? Did you say starting?
I thought. Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought Andre Dillard would win the job, but I thought both would be competent starting left tackles. How's that?
Okay.
I thought both were capable.
I thought that's why you were going A plus because you didn't even think he was going to be the starting left tackle for the Eagles this year.
I mean, where he has come from to where he is, it is one of the most astonishing stories in football. And I mean, think about all the offensive linemen around this league who aren't very good and have been playing football, their whole lives and going through big time college programs and being big time draft picks, and they can't play. And this kid is out there, and I met him the first day, and he didn't know how to put on his stinking helmet, and he's one of the best left tackles in football. It's amazing. It is an amazing, amazing story.
And here's where I hope that Jeff Stoutland's success rate and what he's accomplished with this team starts to permeate the other positional coaches. I'll put the coordinators in on this too, that they get to dictate more decisions going forward. Read into that wide receiver coach. Read into that offensive coordinator Shane Steichen. Read into that head coach Nick Sirianni in the fact that Jalen Reagor is still playing as much as he did. Stoutland came out this year and goes, my line is just better. I don't care what John McMullen says on Birds 365. He's not as good as the guy we used the first-round draft pick on. So he's going to be our starting left tackle. And I believe this. I don't know, and I'm not there, but my belief is that he kind of dictated that. And I'm hoping that someone soon dictates that Jalen Reagor is hurting us more than he's helping us. We need to get him off the field. Stoutland has the gravitas to be able to accomplish that. I don't know that anyone else on this coaching staff does.
No, plus I don't know if there's any that unique. And I want to catch myself because people, I get when I'm not very. Trent Williams still exists, so that's the best left tackle in football. That's one of the best offensive linemen who's ever lived. That guy's unbelievable. But other than Trent Williams, he's in the conversation for being the best left tackle in football. and that's still pretty stinking amazing. And yeah, I mean, there's those instances, and that's why it's so impressive. They're so rare. Where, I mean, think about Matt Pryor, which is a guy I hyped up as well and said the Eagles could get something for him,
And
and
they
they
did.
did, and he's playing well.
Yeah.
And Indianapolis is very happy with him. I mean, there's a kind of kid I'm talking about. He's a solid player, been playing football all his life, plays at a high level in college, gets drafted, later round pick, but nonetheless, uh, goes through the typical system and is really a success if you want to deem it as a 6 round pick and where he is today in his career. Um, that's the typical mode you see in the NFL with lesser round players in the draft or things like that. The kid who never stinking played before. It is amazing. It is amazing. And it's not just Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stout is great, and he's the best offensive line coach in the league. Or you put Dante Scarnecchia in there. Um, he does things that no other offensive line coach can do. But you got to give Mailata credit too. I mean that's just pure talent, and it's not. In other words, it's not like Matt Pryor's turning into Jordan Mailata, and even Andre Dillard's turning into Jordan Mailata as a 1st round pick, or Sua Opeta, or Nate Herbig. They're all better than they should be, but they're not Jordan Mailata.
No,
It's an amazing story.
Nobody's done what Jordan Mailata's done. That we are 100% in agreement with. All right, we want to get 2 more grades for you before we get a timeout and get Sealski up here. And these are both important for the Eagles. Probably more so in 2022 and 2023 than here in 2021. What do you grade Kayvon Wallace and McPherson, the Mac Attack, the other Mac Attack, as having accomplished in the first 3 quarters of the season? Because they were both draft picks. They're both guys that the Eagles have some equity invested in. And they've been up and down this year. At times I've seen a couple of plays go, ooh, all right, maybe that is a future contributor. And there are other times where, ooh, unfortunately, they're in the lineup. Why are they playing right now? They've both been peak and valley guys. How do you average them out? What kind of grades do you give secondary guys, Wallace and McPherson?
Well, I haven't played that much, so I would lean towards the bailout of incomplete. But I were forced to put.
Yes, I'm forcing you to put a grade on both of them. Incomplete, not acceptable, Professor McMullen.
Then I would put a D on Kayvon Wallace for this reason. He was supposed to play in front of Marcus Epps, and Marcus Epps is clearly better. Clearly better. So to me, that's a bit of a disappointment, not from the fact that Marcus is clearly better, because Marcus has played pretty well. And arguably he's been the Eagles' best safety and probably should be playing over even Anthony Harris and Rodney McLeod, to be honest, the way he's played. But they want the veteran leadership on the field. So, from where Kayvon was supposed to be, I'm a little bit harsher on him. He's not turning into that player. Still time to recover, which is why I would like to go incomplete. But if you force me, and you're forcing me, Jody, I'm going to go D. And Zach, he played a little bit better. He's gotten a little bit of opportunities since Darius Slay got banged up the first time, and Steve Nelson this time against the Jets. He's played better, so I've seen some improvement from him. I would put him in the C level. Wasn't good early. Was a lot better last week.
And it's funny because I remember doing shows with you. That's pretty much when we started Birds 365. We started in April before the draft, and then before camp was here. He had some good days at camp, and people got kind of excited about him.
Oh yeah,
ooh, this guy could be a contributor. Step right in. Remember that they didn't sign Steven Nelson until into camp. They played the waiting game on him and got him probably at a number that the Eagles were more comfortable with. First time they talked to him, here's the Nelson asking price. Here's the Eagle offer price. They end up getting it done probably at about here. Probably close to what the Eagles wanted or not, because Howie Roseman did show a lot of patience with that. There was thought project. Zach McPherson might have to step in and play as a rookie.
Yeah, I was scared about that. Even when when Zach had a run, there was like a whole week where he had an interception every day at practice.
Right.
But he was playing against the second, third team. And then
was he playing against Rager at all? Could he have gotten those picks against Rager?
Maybe.
Do you remember any of that?
Remember, Jalen had some one-handed catches in training camp as well. So he was playing better in training camp, Jalen Rager. But Zach was playing so well with the lesser teams, they started mixing him in with the ones, and that's when it got bad. And that's when it did get bad. And he took a big dip. And that's when you said, okay, this kid's not ready. He's not going to be a starter right away. But he's shown some positive signs. He really has. He's shown some improvement. I haven't seen that from Kayvon Wallace. I haven't seen that kind of improvement.
That's unfortunate. All right. He is John McMahon. I'm Jordan McDonald. I see him on cue with us. When we come back, we'll bring on the lead columnist here in Philadelphia when it comes to sports, and that truly includes the Eagles, Mike Salesky of the Inquirer. Next here on Birds 365.